Hello, gentle viewers. This is Guardian, welcoming you back to Out of the Park Baseball 25 with the Detroit Tigers. Our previous episode was actually one of our best seasons for the Tigers. We had a very respectable record. Rest of the division was just better than we were. So now it's important to take what we've got and build upon that success. Let's first start by hiring new coaches. I need a team trainer. We're looking for as much blue as possible. Chris Weddington is pretty damn good. He's good at recovering important injuries. He's better at preventing them. Yeah, we're going to take Mr. Weddington here. That feels good. And then we need a new hitting coach. I want somebody who is very, very good at teaching. I want to get the most out of our young hitters. And Edward Checkley seems like the perfect choice here. I don't know why you let him go, but your loss is my gain. Get on over here. All right, so that's coaching dealt with. Player development. Let's get after it. Ken Harrelson, I just need you to be not the dirt fucking worst, and you'll have a decent chance to play. Go ahead and work on your quality of contact. Actually, Carl Taylor is not a catcher; he is an outfielder. Um, outside, I got a whole bunch of catchers that aren't actually catchers. Well, I mean, he's kind of a catcher. Hey, Raja, work on your defense, please. Metal Stottlemyre, work on your control, please and thank you. Ed Kirkpatrick, work on your batting eye. Who do we have on the main roster that could use some TLC? Wilbur Wood, work on your control again. Jim Fergosi, work on your discipline. And that'll do it for us. If your only marketable skill is going to be defense, you have to be otherworldly at it. I don't know whether the solution is to put it for Gosi at shortstop or just keep him at second and play someone else at short, but that is something we're going to have to think about. Think about it hard. All right. What do we want? And when do we want it? Eventually. Um, I love how no matter how much I invest in pitching, I always need more of it. That's getting very frustrating. I think Louis Tiant has to take a step forward now. He's had the better part of a year in AAA to work on his shit. He better be ready to hit the ground running from day one because we are struggling. And offensively, we've got to get better too. We've got to get better. Um, we have a severe lack of power. We do have Ron Fairley, whose only criticism I have of him is that sometimes he gets hurt, but he is what we're looking for. He's a great cornerstone type player. We just need somebody who can up drive him in with a top tier bat. And right now, that doesn't exist in our farm system. We don't have the top tier kind of offensive bat that we need. We might someday, but at the moment, we do not. Ken Harrelson is real close to being in that level. We just need him to actually accomplish something of note first. So, let us advance the time. What am I picking this year? 14th? Gross. Gross. Any agents of freeness of interest? Not really. Let's do a search. And we're just trying to look and make sure that if there is a high percentage guy, that we have a handle on him. Okay. I'm looking mostly to see if there's any independent league teams at this point. I don't think that there are, but if there are, I don't see anybody of note on them. Nope. Okay. So let's go ahead and just advance time, and see where we are at the end of award season. Quite right, quite right. Adding Stu Miller on top of Roy Face is really beneficial, and I do think one of the areas we could definitely improve in is upgrading the bullpen further. Um, our outfielders are fine for what they're worth, but we could do with more offense from there. I just need better hitters, is what I need. It doesn't really matter what position they play. I'll make it happen. I will absolutely make it happen. I have a personal message. The gaffle. Nice. I'm imagining we're going to end up getting ourselves a gold glove. I don't remember who it is, but I remember someone had like this ridiculously phenomenal defensive season. Oh, the trade offer is expired because you already traded Bob Buell. Anyway. Eddie Brassard is thoroughly unremarkable. Yeah, I am not giving you 3 good prospects for one mediocre dude. I don't think so, bro. Yeah, Eddie Casco won a gold glove by quite a lot, actually, if I remember correctly. Yeah. Yeah. Remember how I almost didn't take Veda Pinson? I feel pretty great that we decided to keep him. Because he's having himself a career so far. He's no Mickey Mantle, but that's alright. There's only one of those. Silver Sluggers. Anyone from the Tigers? Not even close. Mickey Mantle casual 45 home runs. Oh my god. Wait, Dick Stigman just got enough innings to actually no longer qualify as a rookie? That's funny. Ron Fairley got like a couple down ballot votes. I'm surprised Mickey Mantle didn't win yet another MVP, but then again, Orlando Cepeda did hit 61 home runs. How many home runs has this fucker hit? 215. He's no Mickey Mantle, but he is damned scary. Wild. Alright. Hall of Fame voting. Edward Marks is a pretty decent reliever. I don't hate that. But Andy Etchebarn's not that good, and I don't want to give up Ray Washburn. Because Ray Washburn at least is a proven major league starter, which is valuable. Let me drop Etchebarren and let me drop Ray Washburn. I could offer you the catcher who can't catch. And I would be far happier with that trade. Let's do it. I think Marks is a nice arm who throws really hard, has pretty good control. I think he's got a chance to do some pretty great things with us, so happy to add a reinforcement in the bullpen for sure. Mm, Roger Repos isn't as good as I hoped he would be. And Ramon Montoya is nothing special. Bill Roman is irrelevant. The thing is, he's not a very good hitter. And I just don't think he's a smart addition. I apologize, but I don't think that works for me. I can check on the trade block. El Blanco del Trade. I mean, a guy like Jim King would be a really nice addition, but I already know right now that I can't get him. There is nothing I could offer the Yankees to get him to part with him. Interesting. I think I declined, but that was actually could be easier than I think to make it a meaningful upgrade. Um, Jim King is a really good hitter. However, here's my concern. It looks like his best season was fueled by an unreasonable BABIP uptick. His problem is he doesn't make contact regularly enough to be a top tier player. And I'm not willing to give up a decent young prospect for that. Not for someone that doesn't have a true proven track record. Pete Runnels would be a nice on base type guy, but even there, he's been struggling pretty badly. Is anyone offering a top tier power thumper? Bob Skinner's a pretty decent hitter. I just don't know where I'd play him. None of these guys impress me. Oops. I will say we're just better off running it back with Gene Oliver and trying to find ourselves a nice second or third level outfielder to help us out. Is that Dick Schofield? It is Dick Schofield. Cast my ballot. See if I don't. I'm just doing a quick. Wow, this is a thoroughly unremarkable ballot. I'm gonna toss a lot of votes to people because this might be a great chance for um, some forgotten folks to make their way into the Hall of Fame. George Kell, Ken Keltner, Ralph Kiner, Johnny Pesky, Jackie Robinson, Bob Rush. What a rush. I think that's it. Like, I don't think there are 10 Hall of Famers on this ballot. I'll vote for Harry the Cat. And Edgar Chapman. I think the only player who's likely to make the Hall of Fame this year, just because such a poor class, is Ralph Kiner, with the possibility of somebody like a Larry Doby taking a step forward. Is possible. It's not just possible, it's possible. Oh my god. You had one fucking job, you absolute dumbass. Work on Louis Tion's control, please. I need to fix my scooting before. There you go. Hmm. Now, Joe Moeller still might have a future in this league. I can already tell you Bob Shaw doesn't. Joshua Hernstein is whatever. I mean, I think age matters. I think everyone thinks that age matters. Mickey won a fucking batting title, still finished second for Atlanta Cepeda because he hit 60 plus home runs. Which I guess is a good reason to come in second. I don't want Frank Bowling. He's an okay second baseman, but I've already got okay second baseman. And his bat is nothing special. So I will say not interested and then reject your trade offer. Um, there's some good players in this draft, but other than Joe Morgan, none of them are like super clear Hall of Famers. But they are very good. Like a Reggie Smith, a Rusty Staub, Mike Egan are all pretty talented players. Davey Johnson, who I think is more known by more people as a manager than he was as a player. If I am not mistaken. Mistook. Pool of a took. Wow, there is a minimal top end talent in this draft. I'll be lucky as shit if I get one good player, let alone two. Damn. Okay. And all the good players left are pitchers. Um, Mike Keegan should be a catcher. Mm, mm, Toner played for Cleveland at one point, I want to say. Yeah, there he is. He's fine. I do need power and I do need offense, and he kind of offers that. It's kind of an underwhelming first round draft pick, but I think Tony Horton is a solid choice. Mike Lum is the other one I would consider. His offensive skill set's a little bit more broadly based. Whereas if Tony Horton isn't hitting for average and power, he's significantly worse. I think we go for Mike Lum because Mike Lum is also a decent outfielder. I think he's a little bit of a better athlete and is more likely to be successful. So we're going to go after Mike Lum. Bob Oliver has a ton of power. I don't know that he's got the rest of the package, but he's good enough that I think it's worth adding him on. Why don't people want Jeff Brown? Is it just because he's a pitcher? I mean, look, his pitches aren't that great. Roger Nelson's actually very good, and I have plenty of money, so I will happily offer him a draft pick. How much money does he want? He would like more than $30,000. What's more than $30,000? $35,000. Yeah, missing out on that one kid doesn't really bother me at all. I like Byron Brown's positional flexibility, and I think he's got some offensive skills. Um, he is going to strike out a lot. That's his only real weakness, but other than that, I think he's a perfectly fine young player to add with a fourth round draft pick. Gabriel Acosta is literally terrible. I don't know how he's rated as a 42 potential. I genuinely don't because he's just bad. And he's not likely to get a lot better, I don't think. So yeah, I don't think so, mate. I'd rather take Thomas Frorndorf. Yeah, there's literally nothing good left in this draft. I'm just gonna go an autocomplete. I'm just gonna autocomplete. I mean, maybe Frank Farrow forgets out how to hit, so that's worth a shot. I mean, these are at least good defensive guys, right? So there's always a chance you can get them to figure out how to start hitting. No. I thought his name was James Conman for a minute there. Absolutely not. This is a ridiculous offer. Anybody I'm gonna lose in the Rule 5 that I really should make a try to keep? I think Merritt Ranu is worth keeping. Hector Martinez is not. Yeah, the rest of you guys can do what you want, but okay. Start draft. I'm not even gonna look. Alright. I feel like Jim Beauchamp is a pretty damn fine bench bat. And somebody who with a little bit of luck might be more than that. I think he is more than worthy of a Rule 5 pick. Done. It's our old friend Ruben Gomez that nobody wants. I'll also take Donald Miller. And then I think we just call it there. I think I just wanted the two Rule 5 picks. Somebody took Don Schwal. Who the fuck is Don Schwal? He's a terrible starting pitcher who walks everybody. Okay. Dobie and Connor both made it. Understandable. Mm. He has got a ton of upside, but I don't feel like giving you Repos or Moeller for him. You want Charlie Massey? You can have Charlie Massey. Done. I'm sorry the fans apparently love Charlie Massey, but we're really setting ourselves in a position where we've got a lot of upcoming talent in the bullpen. And we can get rid of some of these older guys that maybe don't have as much to offer us. Not my 46th round draft pick, however, will we succeed? Uh-uh. Whenever somebody's only offensive skill is avoiding strikeouts and they can't pull the rest of the package together, it's not worth it. This is a bad trade. Okay. Training. There's going to be a lot of young players that are going to get some opportunities in spring training to make it meaningful at bats, I think. Like Ken Harrelson, Roger Repos, off the top of my head. I'm sure there's other people too. I mean, Dom Mincher getting better is amazing. I really appreciate that. Now all of a sudden, Ron Fairley can't play the outfield at all. That's gross. That completely and utterly changes how we play our game. Because it basically means I had to play him for space, and that makes Dom Mincher unnecessary. Hmm. All right, Harrelson, Kirkpatrick, Hubs, Stottlemyre, Littleton. That's fine. Hector Martinez isn't terrible, but not what I'm looking for either. And we're gonna roll with a 6-man rotation. All right. Only Ken Harrelson got better. Everybody else didn't get better at all. That's disappointing. Who's Samuel Kessler? Are you my? Oh, you're my scouting director. Okay, fine. Little Ethan Blackaby. Poor Harvey Haddix. He's had himself one hell of a career. Probably not enough to get in the Hall of Fame though. Probably not. Ouch, 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 ouch. Okay. I'm presently staring at 21 pitchers. I scared of 9 of them. Cuellar to the minors. Littleton to the minors. Marks might stay. Newman to the minors. I think Benny Daniels has done what he can do for us. I think we sent him to the minors. Um, Don's for a race, he doesn't really do much for me. He's also on the older side, too, which doesn't help. Stottlemyre goes to the minors. Talavera goes to the minors. How many pitchers do I have now? I have 15. 3 more pitchers still gotta go. I'm gonna try to get all 3 of you through waivers. And now we're down to 12 pitchers, which is what I'm looking for. All this is fine. I don't need to mess with anybody's role or anything. This is acceptable. We have 4 catchers on the roster. Eddie Kirkpatrick has so much positional flexibility. I kind of think of keeping him on the roster, maybe even over Burberry. Yeah, Burberry's kind of an asshole anyway. I'm gonna release him. And Ed Kirkpatrick gets to make the team. Stan Johnson is just gonna be cut. Like, he's an okay. Nah, we can send him to the minors. He might figure how to hit someday. Who knows? Cliff Cook is literally an outfielder. He can go to the minors. Hubs only plays second. I have a feeling that's also too limiting. Jose Pagan goes to the minors for sure. Lackaby to the minors. And I'm pretty sure Charlie James also goes to the minors. No, I need 5 outfielders. I need 5. Then I think Hubs is the one who goes. No. I feel like one more partial season of seasoning for Hal Carlson will actually benefit us more in the long run. All right. Starting lineup is fine. Or is it? No, let me do it from scratch. I just feel better when I do it from scratch. All right. Our best overall hitter is Ron Fairley. He has to hit third. He has to hit third. Who hits leadoff for us? I still want the answer to be Ron Hansen. I still want him to be able to get on base enough to justify his spot, but I don't think he can. We're gonna have Mincher hit cleanup, and we're gonna have Gene Oliver hit 5th. It's clearly gonna be Fregosi and Davenport, and I think I like Davenport on top and then Fregosi. I'm not married to it, but I think it's the best we've got for right now. We could really use another elite on base guy that I actually trust to get on base. Cough, cough, Ron Hansen. Okay. Johnny Edwards is an excellent 6th hitter. I think he's a great fit there. So then the question comes, where does Jim Landis hit? I think Jim Landis can go and sidle up and hit 7th. And last but certainly not least, for now, Ron Hansen hits 8th. Now that may change as time goes on, but for right now anyway, that's where he's starting. I feel like we're over helping Casco, and I don't think that's smart. I think Casco is just gonna be a backup for now. Gene Oliver's still a decent catcher. I definitely don't mind Gene Oliver starting behind the plate every fifth game. I think that's fair. And let me copy the depth chart and paste it over here. All right, let's get to work, friends. Let's see if we can't build on last season's success. We didn't add a ton to this team, though, is the big difference. A lot of our upgrades were on the margins. There's not a single player on this team that I think wasn't here last year that I expect to make a big impact. Um, Pete Ward, you suck. Early Win has 324 complete games. For given the era, that's pretty impressive. Oh, it says only active pitchers. I thought it was like all time. Alright, fuckaroos. Yeah, because like looking at this lineup, who wasn't here last year? Rogosi's getting a full season. But Davenport was here, Fairley was here, Minshew and Oliver were here. Johnny Edwards is here, Jim Lannis is here, Ronnie Hansen was here. We're asking an awful lot of natural improvement from players that for the most part are under 30. Pitching staff bringing back Louis Tiant, I think, had to happen. Hopefully he can improve, but I think really we've spent most of our time on the bullpen. Maybe not the best place to improve, but I also don't have a ton of other choices. So yeah, let's be about it. I do. Who? Oh, Ken Hubbs. You know, I completely forgot that I left him on the roster. I'd rather have Pagan than Hubbs because Pagan can play shortstop. Sorry. Hey, we're just gonna casually slide Pagan like this. Here we go. So Tiant didn't get any better, which makes me sad. Brian Downing no-hit Cincinnati. That's pretty impressive. Oh, Al Downing, sorry. What the fuck was I thinking of? Was Brian Downing an actual player? I don't know. Okay, water, settle down. I thought I just tipped my water over. It made me very sad. Alright, let's keep it going. Somebody's been DFA'd. Oh, all three of these jokers. You don't want to stay on the team anymore? That's fine. You can enjoy your time in unemployment. Well, that's not great. Look, I don't even know what kind of role Edgar Patrick's going to play on this team, but getting hurt 3 weeks into the start of your career is probably not going to help you. Let's go ahead and call Merritt Ranu. I think he's okay. I've kind of been embarrassed under riches at catchers, so I'm fine with Merritt Ranu. I mean, it's not like it really matters because Gene Oliver was backing up as a catcher anyway, so. Okay, guys, all we need is for Jim Fergusi to 400 the rest of the season, and we're going to be amazing. Jim Beauchamp got worse, so I don't like to see that, but Louis Tion got better. Mike Lum is improving quite quickly, which is nice. Good old Dave Wickersham. I'm not even going to look at the stats yet. We're just not deep enough in the season to have a real appreciation for how our players are. Merritt Ranu, go ahead, head back to the minors, and we'll bring Kirkpatrick back. Quake Patrick. Generate me a depth chart, please. I just don't feel obligated to play Casco this much when his only skill is defense. It's just not smart. It's not smart. Um, you don't want to overplay a player and get him exposed. Hmm. Okay, player development. Ron Fairley is getting better. Dom Mincher is getting a little bit worse. Johnny Edwards is getting better. Roy Face is improving. Ken Harrelson's getting better, which is good. Who's Roger Nelson? I genuinely don't remember you. Apparently took you in the third round this year. Hmm. I mean, hey, you're developing quickly. I will happily take that. Jack Hyatt's getting better. Mike Lum continues to improve. Yeah. Keep working at it, Mr. Lum. Not Bob Neiman. Good old Gary Kroll. A shutout for Louis Tion is pretty awesome. It is not ungood. So this is a fascinating microcosm of the season right now. Jim Davenport and Jim Fregosi are playing phenomenally well. Ron Fairley has been mid. Is he that bad in the field? He is pretty bad. But then Dom Mincher is just an utter zero. Dom Mincher just has nothing to offer us. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to swap him with Gene Oliver. We've got to be pretty brutal about who we keep around. I also could put Ron Fairley at first base and get someone else to play right field. I just don't know who that is. I don't think Charlie James or Jim Beauchamp are ready for major league action. And Ken Harrelson, unfortunately, just got hurt. So pitching is solid. Stu Miller is maybe off to a slow start. But then he did miss most of last year with an injury. I just want him to stay healthy, and I want him to work on his control. But the rotation looks pretty decent. Pretty decent. Hey, all Ron Hansen needs to do to be like an all-star caliber player is just hit reasonably well. He'll be pretty good. If we want to make the postseason, we have to put together a sustained winning streak where we play not only well, we beat the top teams. Because certainly I could not anticipate Jim Fregosi being second in the MVP ratings at this point in his career. Sherm Lawler's going to retire. Okay, okay. Louis Tiant, nice. Um. Yeah. Fergosi's fucking killing it. Like, any success this season is because of him. Mincher's kind of a joke. Jim Landis is also becoming deeply problematic. He's still a good center fielder, but he really can't hit that well. I guess Mincher's slightly above replacement level. His peripherals look okay, but he just doesn't make enough contact to really drive the rest of his offensive profile, which is disappointing. Um, Harrelson has nothing left to learn in AAA. Not a thing left to learn. I'm not going to keep Jim Beauchamp. I'm going to send him away. I'm going to call up Ken Harrelson. I need to get him in the lineup. So the question is who he replaces. Gene Oliver's doing fine. Ron Fairley doing okay. Ken Harrelson cannot play center field, whatever his delusions of grandeur might indicate. So it seems like replacing Mincher is the place to start. Yeah, you know what? Let's just go ahead and slot him in as our first baseman every single day. I'm not saying Mincher will be benched forever. I'm saying that, oh my god, would you quit trying to play Eddie Casco? I don't care if he's a two-time Gold Glover. He is not as good at playing baseball as Fregosi, or especially as Davenport, especially Fregosi. If Jim Fregosi is not starting the All-Star game at second base, I will riot. Personally, I will riot. Let's go ahead and keep you. I mean, Hoagie Lloyd hasn't really done anything too special. Yeah, I think Mr. Hoagie here is going to be departing the Detroit Tigers. I need a better bench coach to help galvanize this team. You're an O'Toole. Lighten up, Francis. There he is. Fregosi and Hansen both made the All-Star team, as did Louis Tiant and Wilbur Wood. 4 All-Stars is pretty good. It's pretty good. And Jim Fregosi is arguably one of the top 2 players in the entire American League. So yes, I can live with this. Um, Albie Pearson is better than Jim Landis. Talavera's fine. Carl Taylor is fine. Ollie Brown is fine. I genuinely think this is a pretty good deal. I wonder if I could remove Talavera and add Jim Landis. Wow, you guys really like Jim Talavera. Yes, done. Um, Albie Pearson Jr. Oh, the West Sutherfield Albie Pearsons. Let's set you as our center fielder. Like so. I need an on base machine at the top of the lineup. You can definitely do that. I'm going to go ahead and swap you with Davenport. And then I'm going to go ahead and leave everything else as it is. That's fine. All right. I feel like that's a good decision. I feel like that still makes us a pretty competent, well suited team. We don't have a captain right now. That may be something we want to address at some point. But for right now, I'm reasonably happy. I'm reasonably chuffed. Do I have anybody in the minor leagues who has the role of Capitan? Ethan Blackaby is the captain. I have too many infielders. Um, well, Ken Harrelson can also play the outfield too, so it's not like I'm obligated to play him at first. I think I send down Pagan and I call up Blackaby. Give the team some decent leadership. Make sure it's not playing every day. He just isn't, bruh. He just isn't. Stan Williams sucks. He is not good. What do I want? I guess is the question. What would I actually want to add into onto this team? I don't care how good a reliever he is. I don't think he's worth it. I don't think he's going to be worth what the Baltimore Orioles are going to want for him. Not Lenny. Our starting pitching is mostly fine. I will be back in just a few moments. Right. Um, I just don't think it's worth it. Um, I don't see a single player here that I would consider transformational. The question is, do I keep Don Mincher? Ken Harrelson is getting there. He's a ways from what he should be, but he's He's getting a little better each day. If I traded Don Mincher, what could I expect as a return? Is my question. I mean, I could get Jim King, but he's not that much better. Chuck Hinton is fine, I suppose. Pete Reichert would be pretty nice, actually. He's a really good pitcher. He's still young, which means he'll fit in nicely with the rest of my team. I wonder if I could get Duran Johnson and Pete Reichert. Is that a thing I could reasonably request? No, I can get one or the other, but not both. Could you throw in a prospect or two? Hmm. Hmm. I think this is worth it. I truly think this is worth it. So let's do it. I think adding a pitcher of Pete Reichert's talent and just making a good rotation even better is super important. I'm going to return. Oh, Donald Miller is actually pitching extremely well for me. Don McMahon, not so much. So I'm going to do this. I'm going to add Pete Reichert as a starting pitcher. I'm going to make you an emergency starter long reliever for now. I just want you to stretch your arm out in the major leagues. That's what I'm looking for. So if you can do that, then okay, great. And then I need to replace what's his face? I need to replace Don Mincher. Ken Hubbs is as decent as anybody, I suppose. And let's copy the depth chart and paste it. I do feel like I'm selling really low on Don Mincher, and he still has the capability to hit like 30 home runs, but I think I'm making the right decision for the club and for our chances going forward. You know what, my friend? Enjoy him. Well, this is one way to get Pete Reichert in the rotation. Not the way I would like for it to have happened, but it's fine. I'm gonna go ahead and call up Glenn Booze because Pete Reichert is taking the spot in the rotation. What is Roy Face's issue? He doesn't really have one. He's just unlucky, I think. Let me go ahead and take you off of use more often. And let me go ahead and put Joe Moeller on use more often. Let's see if that makes any kind of difference at the back end there. This has to be one of the tightest pennant races I've ever seen in the American League. Like, we are right there. Um, we are right there. If we can start doing a lot of damage, I think we'll see some pretty good stuff. Um, we actually have a 5% chance to make it because we're on this losing streak, which is really poorly timed. Um, hmm. Ken Harrelson is not performing well, which is thoroughly disappointing. Albie Pearson's got it going on, though, so that's good. He's getting on base, stealing bases, playing a pretty okay center field. Yeah, I need Ken Harrelson to figure out the major leagues very, very quickly. Or I have too much faith in him, and that's just going to bite us in the butt. Right now, Johnny Edwards is hitting ahead of Ken Harrelson. I mean, I don't think it's going to make a difference either, but it might. I'm going to go and let Dennis Bennett stretch out in the bullpen. I think Pete Reichert has shown that he can be an effective starting pitcher, so I want to give him that opportunity. Yeah, all of a sudden, as a team, we just stopped hitting. Um, and it's going to bury us. Once again, we're running out of steam as the season progresses. And I don't know what we can do to fix that. There might be literally nothing that we can do to fix it, if I'm being honest with you. Not until we are able to acquire a lot more depth and we get more consistency from our hitters. Because we just get cold, and then we stay cold. So that is disappointing. How in the fuck have I not been eliminated? Okay, there's world. No, this it's over. Yeah, I don't know why they didn't. I didn't get an email saying I was eliminated, but I am. I mean, 94 wins is nothing to complain about, right? It's nothing to complain about. But it would be nice to see us have a little bit more stick to itiveness down the stretch. Um, we have good pieces, and I think there's a lot to like about what we have in the rotation, especially. Um, we just need more contributions from the lineup. I say this, we're the second best lineup in the American League, so maybe I'm being stupid. It has been known to happen. It's like we were number two at run scoring and run prevention. There's not a lot I can do about that other than just keep trying new players out to see where we can do better, where we're doing not as well, and yeah. Don't lie to me, game. I only care to see that stuff. Chuck Strange and a bunch of noobs all retired. Damn, the Cardinals keep making the World Series and then losing. It's almost like they had an amazing manager. And now their new manager is not as amazing. Like, how embarrassing for you that, like, the last two or three seasons in a row you've made the World Series and lost. I'm pretty sure that's accurate. I'm reasonably certain. Mm, I don't even know what we can do to get better other than just continue to let this team get older and improve that way. Let's look at your team history real fast. I guess it's just, yeah, for the last 5 years you made the World Series and then lost. Which just makes me laugh. Hee hee hee. A new 1 year contract. Clearly, the problem is my bench coach, and with a new bench coach, we're guaranteed to win the World Series. Just guaranteed. Alright. So, who did well this year, and why is that person Jim Fregosi? Yeah, Jim Fregosi casually turning himself into an MVP candidate is. Now, look, there's a bit of mirage here. Right here. Triples are just unreliable, especially from a guy that isn't very good at stealing bases. That being said, he had an awesome year and is fully worthy of our trust in him. Johnny Edwards had a great season. It's rare to have a catcher that's this good defensively and this good offensively, but I'm happy for it. Albie Pearson was a nice import. He really gave us a shot in the arm offensively, both on the base paths and just getting on base at a really good clip. Ron Hansen bounced back beautifully. He's still not one of the best shortstops ever, but he's still the really good one, and he gets the job done. Gene Oliver is proving to be one of the best second round draft picks I've made in a long time. Like, he's just really, really good. I mean, I didn't make the pick. The AI did, but nonetheless, he's very talented and very useful. Ron Fairley had probably the worst season of his second worst season of his major league career, and was still very, very good. I think what happened is nobody trusted the guys that hit behind him, so they just walked him this year. Because his rate stats are pretty close to the previous seasons. He just didn't get as many good pitches to hit. Jim Davenport, very helpful, very useful. Although a lot of his value appears to be defensive. Because he's not a great hitter. I think third base is one position we could upgrade at and see a nice boost to our team's productivity. I need Ken Harrelson to figure out his shit. Um, there's a lot riding on his shoulders, but he has to earn it. He's got to play at a high level and be ready to help take this franchise over. Because a big power bat in the middle of this lineup is precisely what we need, and a reliable power bat. That's the key word, reliable. Don Mincher hit for power but nothing else, which made him difficult to trust him. Louis Tion, I guess, just needed some more time in the minor leagues because he came in and was awesome. Like, we have another bona fide ace who had a fantastic season, which I'd love to see. Wilbur Wood was phenomenal. And he's getting better at the hard stuff, which is what we needed. Pedro Ramos had an excellent season. Some of our pitchers weren't so great. I think Roy Face is probably ready to retire. And yes, it seems that he was victimized by poor defense, which is understandable. But that doesn't excuse the guy just giving up so many home runs. Although, to be fair, it is kind of a thing for him, so we might need to upgrade the bullpen again, but I do find it fascinating that Dennis Bennett was a huge piece to our success last year, and then this year was just trash. But he's alright. He's doing okay. I'd probably rush pitchers to the majors too quickly. I think I need to give them a little more time to season themselves for them to be what they need to be. But wasn't too bad. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed the series so far. If you have, please remember to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content, and comment down below. And tell me who your favorite member of the Detroit Tigers is right now. I know who my choice would be. I think. Maybe I gotta think about it. But, anyways, until next time, this has been Guardian. Thank you for watching, and I bid you good day.